Mechanic Advisor's texting platform allows us to follow up and check in with your customers after their ticket is closed out in the shop management system, and if they haven't been in the shop, we're checking in with them throughout the year. We break our messaging down into two different messages. One is for new customers. The second is for your repeat customers. So 2 days after a ticket is closed out in your shop management system, new customers are going to receive a text that looks like this, and repeat customers will receive a text that looks like this. Then 5 days after we send them that text, we're sending over a review request via text and email, making it very easy for your customers to go here, click on Great Job, and it brings them right to your Google page where they can go in and leave a 5-star review, which will get posted directly to Google.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans. On Monday night, it means this is the Red Light Scrambler Series presented by RB Custom Rigs. Welcome here to the Richmond International Raceway. It is the final race of the regular season. There are some drivers that have already locked themselves in and a couple drivers that are looking to possibly get in to the playoffs coming up here, just starting next week. Those drivers tonight, you will take notice. The drivers that have already locked themselves in here, well, either by winning to get themselves in or possibly by pointing themselves in. Drivers that are in and going to the playoffs already on wins. James Skelton does not look like he is here tonight, but he is one of those drivers that are locked in on championship wins. 3 wins for the driver out of South Carolina. One other driver has 3 wins this season. He hails out of Canada. That's Max Terriot. After that, there's a handful of drivers with 1 win. That's DJ Anderson, Dustin Gainey. They have 1 win, so they are in. After that, it really starts to come to points. Some of the drivers that we feel are comfortable coming in here to the final race, well, that is Jason Wells. It seems like as long as he takes the green flag here tonight, he should be all right, barring a last place finish tonight. That goes the same with Richard Murdoch, Zach Mitchell, and Joe Strano. Those drivers seem to be well enough ahead of that cut line, which is position number 12. Drivers that are right there on the bubble. You'll notice them in red here tonight. That is going to be Chris Hammett, Michael Trevarthen, Eric Johnson, Ryan O'Donnell, who is the last car right now scheduled as in. He comes in 12th overall in the championship hunt. Travis Minto, Tim Combs, Sean Single, all right there on that bubble of could make it in or could be just sitting on the outside looking in at the end of the regular season. So buckle up, race fans. This little short track here that they call the Richmond Raceway, well, it is going to be one heck of a battle for those final couple of spots here tonight. The chips are on the table, but where will they fall at the end of the night? We're about to get ready to find out. These drivers are currently in a qualifying session, so they are getting themselves seated on where they will start here tonight. 27 drivers, I believe, by our last count, have logged in here virtually to the race tonight. So we will find out, 1, who gets the pole, and, well, 2, who's going to have a long night ahead of themselves, because there's a couple drivers right now who have not turned a lap, like Dustin Gainey and Chris Hammett. Gainey's already locked himself in, but Chris Hammett has not, and he needs to have himself a good qualifying attempt here tonight. It looks like he has been out onto the track at one point here tonight, and it does not look like he has scored a lap time. So that rookie that's battling to try and stay inside that those top positions in that championship chase bubble, well, he could have a long road to hoe here tonight. But race fans, we got to thank you all for tuning in here tonight for the Mechanics Advisor 112. It's that final race before we go to the chase. So, well, it's been a good season so far. I mean, you really break things down. We've had a handful of winners break into those, multiple wins of Skelton and Terriol, and then DJ Anderson, Dustin Gainey, maybe the surprise dark horse this season. He is locked into the chase, but he comes in overall in the points championship, actually back into the 16th position. Of course, we have our one win, I believe, goes to the 88 of Sean Butler. His win negated this year as he did not make half the races before the chase, and he is out currently with back surgery, and we hope that he is doing fine and resting at home. We can't wait for his return here to the iRacing Series for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing, as it looks like qualifying is going to go in the books, and it's going to be Sean Single, the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, picking up the provisional pole here tonight as the clock will expire. They're going to quickly rearrange the pit boxes, and we're going to get ready to go racing here. And just like that, I said they were going to rearrange those pit boxes, and they did it lickety-split here tonight. Sean Single is our top spot. Let's head down trackside to get our see what our qualifying looks like here for our starting lineup tonight. Of course, the starting lineup brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Are you in need of new trees to line your driveway? Well, look no farther. The Green Forest Tree Supply has you covered. Head on over to the Green Forest Tree Supply today and get your shade tree tomorrow. This is your starting lineup here tonight for the Mechanics Advisor 112. Sean Single in the Mechanics Advisor number 11. Well, he'll start right there, P number 1. To his outside, there's the driver of the 51 of DJ Anderson. He is green, he is in. Max Terrill scheduled to roll off third here tonight in the 42. He is green, he is in. Green Forest Tree Supply number 43. He is green, and he is in. There's the number 62 of Ethan Troutman. He'll roll off fifth here tonight with the sixth position looking like it's going to be Michael Trevarthen in the 31. You notice he's in red. He is not locked in right now. He's right there on the bubble. Eric Johnson in the 33 will go 7th. Then it's going to be Richard Murdoch. He locks in green tonight by taking the green flag. Tim Combs is lined up in red. He goes 9th. Looks like Jason Wells is scheduled to roll 10th. He is green. He is in. Tony Strano in the number 3 will roll off 11th with Zach Mitchell, who will turn green when he takes the green flag. He'll start 12th. 13th here tonight will go to Travis Minto. He is red. He's not in with that 919. He starts 13th. Rob Higgins in the number 40. Higgins Hill Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40. He'll roll off sitting there 14th. And it looks like starting in the 15th position, that's Ryan O'Donnell. That's Brandon Minto in 16th. Rob Jenkins there in 17th. Mark Jenkins in 18th. Brandon Feeney is 19th with Jeffrey Souza in the number 4 starting 20th. 21st goes to the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. Chris Hammett in the 906 goes 22nd. 23rd here tonight will go to the driver out of Pennsylvania, the 84, Christopher Rothrock. Then it's going to be Dustin Gainey in 24, sorry. The 77 Simbox entry of Doug Neal will roll off into the 25th position, while Kevin O'Brien will roll 26th. Bob Higgins will tag the rear of the field here tonight. That is your starting lineup brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Hear the roar of those V8 motors here tonight. They are geared up and ready to go. Next time by, we're going to drop the hammer here tonight as all these drivers are getting heat into the tires, heat into the motors. Sean Single, of course, will take the initial start as your leader. It does look like all 27 drivers have officially here tonight taken to our starting lineup, so we will get ready as everybody has a chance. There's our pole setter tonight. The 27-year-old out of Ayer, Massachusetts. Does not look like he has, he's going to be a couple points short possibly here, locking himself into the chase. But it's going to be a good starting spot here. He could win tonight and get in. That could change the whole ball game. Green flag up into the air. 150 laps the distance here tonight at Richmond. Sean Single with a great start there. The 51 of DJ Anderson. You see him. He's going to slide back onto the outside groove right now. Here comes the 42 of Max Terriot behind them. It's the 43 of Joe Strano as they work into 3 for the first time here tonight. One of them going to go high, wide, handsome. That's the number 5 of Brandon Minto in the Keystone Light entry. Right now, Sean Single finds himself out front. Looking off our Mechanic Advisor's onboard camera, looking back at the field here as they all chase the Mechanic Advisor number 11. Looks like you got to go back a little bit to find some battling going on here tonight. That's the number 40 of Rob Higgins. He was just side by side. They were with Rob Jenkins, the two Robs battling ahead of Brandon Minto right now. Everybody has migrated straight to the bottom of the speedway already tonight. As there you see the Minto entry going to the high side. There's Chris Hammond. You find him on the timing and scoring as the 906, and he lights up in red tonight. That only indicates to all you race fans that are tuning in that he has not locked himself in to the championship chase. He's right on the outside. Hammett came in looking like it was 9th overall in that championship hunt, and being, well, just on the verge. He could get in if he can pick up a couple positions here yet tonight. So early on, as you see the 3 of Tony Strano to the outside. That's the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry of Ryan O'Donnell, who's working to the inside of the speedway. There's Richard Murdoch, also in the Adventure in Pixels 01 Chevrolet. Starting to fade backwards as the 24. That's the Zach Mitchell entry. Is down to the inside. He'll make that pass, and now to put that Travis Minto in the Gatorade 919 entry. Minto in the contention for running of the Rookie of the Year award here tonight. That will go all the way to the end of the season. There's no championship chase cutoff for that one. That one will go straight down to the wire, I believe, between him and Chris Hammett. Both of them looking to get into the chase in their rookie seasons. Everybody is really single-filed out and going for the long run here tonight. Looking down, there's your front 2. It's Sean Single leading the way here with Max Terriot, and then it's DJ Anderson right there in the Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry. Anderson, the last couple of weeks, he knows he's been into the championship chase for quite a while. Well, what do you do when you're in the chase? Well, you try and work some strategy. 3 wide racing, though. That's the strategy back here for Travis Minto. He'll work to the inside of the 01 Adventure in Pixels machine, leaving the 24 of Zach Mitchell to the outside. And you say short track racing, they say, yeah, we can still go 3 wide. There's nothing wrong with that. All 3 of those drivers are going to be all right. One of them going to go turn around down the back straightaway. Brandon Yeet Minto. A driver out of Norman, Oklahoma, now residing in Texas. San Antonio, Texas right now, stationed with our U.S. Air Force. So the Keystone Light Buffalo Wild Wings entry has gone for a little bit of a ride. We'll have to wait for the truck to tell us what they have here for this one. We do know it's going to involve the number 5. I think it might involve the number 84 also. Let's see if we can find what happened to Brandon Minto. There you see it, the contact. Down hard into the inside wall with the right front of that Keystone Light number 5. Oh, actually, it looks like Minto maybe just lost it on his own. We're seeing if we can back it up just a little bit. There's the 5 of Brandon Minto. Let's see if we can get a better angle here. And let's go from the over top. Watch the black number 5, the Keystone. Gets a little bump there. Oh, yeah, he gets tagged in that left rear. Got tagged, around he went, found the wall, and he hammered back into it and just kept on ticking. There you see one of the cars that were, or trucks that were involved here tonight. That's the 84 Renaissance Nutrition driver out of Pennsylvania. Rothrock getting a little contact there. Looks like the number 2 of Joshua Buckley, old Granny Hips, is coming down pit road. The hips don't lie, and, well, neither does that scene. There's the 5 of Brandon Minto, the Keystone Light entry. His night's going to end a little bit early. He missed a couple races early on in the season, what put him way behind in the championship points, and hasn't been able to dig himself out of a hole in the little bit that he's been able to get back here onto the iRacing.com service. You know, he did reside over here in New Jersey. That's where he was stationed. Took a new position with the U.S. Air Force and got transferred to San Antonio, Texas. So they had to take a couple weeks off to move everything from New Jersey down to Texas. And once he was geared up and ready to finally come back onto iRacing and get his feet wet again, well, then that cold storm down there in Texas that took the power out for a couple of days, and that hit him, and it really set him behind the 8 ball. He comes into the night. If I'm looking at the points championship standings correctly, Brandon Minto is actually 32nd. He's competed in 4 events here this year. It's been a 7th at Michigan, a 14th at Talladega in his favorite 1987 car. I believe he actually wound up on his lid there. Sonoma was a 16th, and then at Atlanta, he finished 12th. So it's not the year, it's not the stats that he would like to have, but the best thing about this race, fans, is he just may have tapped the inside wall, but I can assure you that he's still out here having a great time. That's what it's all about when we get together on a Monday night or a Thursday night with Red Light Racing, is to have a good time. And the best times are when we're green flag racing like we're about to be, because that iRacing pace car is down and off the racing surface. It'll be Single and Max Terriot, DJ Anderson, Joe Strano, your top drivers. Looks like DJ Anderson having a little bit of a connection issue. Sean Single, though, going to get pressured down into turn number 1. There it is. It's the old 42. The black machine will work to the outside of the speedway out of turn number 2. It's going to be Sean Single leading the battle into turn number 3, though. Will he be able to come back around to lead the lap? Out of turn 4 they come. The Mechanics Advisor, number 11, will continue to lead this race. He needs to win to get in. Remember, the timing and scoring here tonight, all the cars that are lining up in green, well, that is going to indicate to all you race fans that are tuning in here tonight that, well, those drivers are in. The drivers in red are not in. They're on the verge of either being in or out. The only way to really change to propel yourself from being red, or even the drivers that are in white here tonight, is to just win. Go out here, drive the race of your season. Oh, big check up there. That was the 31 of Trevarthen, who just got a little tight, and everybody had to really check up. That's the 33 of Eric Johnson. Johnson was a chase candidate the last couple of years. This year, just a little bit of a down year for the driver of that Dirty Mo radio, number 33. Top 6 drivers are single file, and then you got the 17 of Tim Combs and the 31 of Michael Trevarthen right now, battling to stay inside the top 10, as they're the 2 drivers right now that are battling for that final position. Right now, Combs have the bottom groove advantage. Battle for the race lead out of turn 2, though. Sean Single pushed up the speedway. He is going to turn the race lead over for the first time here tonight at the line. It'll be the 42, Max Terriot, leading. Now the Mechanics Advisor on board, showing that Mechanic Advisor Ford F-150 number 11 up out of the groove down there in 1 and 2 once again. Couple of them going to get into the outside wall. That's the 24. Now the 84. Rothrock, everybody had to scramble to the inside there. Rothrock got into the outside wall after following the 24 of Zach Mitchell up there. You try not to follow the guy's line in front of you, but when you're tucked up so close with these big spoilers on the back of these trucks, there's just not much room that you can see. As there you see Rothrock trying to rebound to get back around the number 40 of Rob Higgins right now, the Checker Flag Auto Supply entry, who works the bottom of the speedway. There you see Tony Strano also. Strano's been competing on Monday nights for a very long time, just started competing on Thursday nights, and one of them actually got to jump up over the groove, and I believe that's the Australian. Kevin O'Brien has gone up over the groove, the Newcastle Australian. Looks like his right front caved in a little bit. See if that hurts him on the long run here tonight. Brandon Minto, you see him right there. He is currently 1 lap down according to our timing and scoring sheet. We'll keep an eye on that number 5 to see if he can work his way up. Talking about working his way up, there goes Troutman. He worked his way up the groove as you see the 33 of Johnson get on by. Max Terriot, ever since he got out front, well, he's not been able to run away. Look who's just knocking on the back door of that car. That's DJ Anderson. Here, Max really pulling it high into the RPM band down the front straightaway in 4th gear. They have opened up right now a second gap over the number 11 of Sean Single. One of them going around. That's the 919 entry. Travis Minto was up inside the top 10 and a spin out of turn 2. As he spun it off turn 2, I'm looking at the truck, and I'm not seeing that much damage, if any, really. Trying to see if we can get a closer look at the 919 Gatorade Chevrolet. Of course, Travis is the brother to Brandon Minto, the driver of that number 5, who just had a little bit of an issue about 10 laps ago. But right now, if you're a Minto, it's not your night here early on. Let's take the look back here at our replay. See if we can find out what happened to Travis Minto. There you see he's battling. There's Mark Jenkins in the 999. Oh, a little tap there from the Alienware 64. Wells just barely gets into the back, and it's just a lazy slide to the inside, and it will bring out a caution flag here tonight. So just a little tap. Right on board here. Just a little slide there out of the Gatorade entry. I think all Jason Wells was trying to say is water's better. I believe that's all I think that was going on there. Travis Minto there, you see him pulling out of pit road. He put 4 fresh tires on it, and he'll just fire back off. A couple drivers, though, playing a little strategy here. Michael Trevarthen, Richard Murdoch, Ryan O'Donnell, Joshua Buckley staying out. They all pitted except for Trevarthen. Trevarthen has yet to hit pit road here tonight. Murdoch, O'Donnell, and Granny Hips all came down pit road on lap 10 and 11 here tonight. So they have topped off the fuel tanks and put tires on. So they've already been to pit road once. They didn't want to come down again. Being told by our track officials here tonight that are all scattered all around the Richmond Raceway that there is actually damage to that 01 Adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch. There you see that Adventure in Pixels 01, and there's definitely some right rear damage, quarter panel damage on the 01. We'll have to watch and see if the aerodynamics of that Chevy Silverado really come into effect here. Looking through the field, though, everybody else has come down here on lap number 25 and 26. A lucky dog recipient, though, I'm being told. There he is. The old Yeeter. The old Keystone Yeeter. Of course, you know, I'm still confused and baffled as you are, race fans. Brandon Minto drives Fords. He likes the Ford driver, Brad Kozlowski, and Brad's sponsor is Keystone, but he's driving a Chevy, and the number 5 goes to a Chevy. Well, race fans, I can't really help you. I cannot really help. When you figure it out, let me know so I can let Minto know. Right now, he's back onto the lead lap, and we should get the 1-to-go marker this time by. Lights on the iRacing pace car come out go out, excuse me. There is some big news here on iRacing. For a lot of you iRacing members, there is a update coming this week, and there just might be a little secret hidden in the back end of this coming update. You do see that iRacing pace car is the Ford Mustang? I hear there's a new pace car coming. I don't know if all you race fans get excited about that, but when you do as much broadcasting as we do here in the Turn 3 Racing Network, you see a lot of that pesky old iRacing.com pace car, and you can't wait to just see it get off the track like that, and it's out of the ballpark. So let's go back racing. What do you say? Waiting on the green flag here, Trevarthen, Murdoch, O'Donnell, and Buckley, your top 4 drivers. Green flag into the air. Everybody else got 4 fresh Goodyears. Let's see if they can run through the field or if these older tires can hold them off. Remember, Michael Trevarthen has yet to come to pit road here tonight. Oh, caution light's going to come right back on. Big wreck up here, and oh no, Travis Minto involved. Doug Neal in the 77, sim box number 77. After having issues last week with his sim rig, and now this week up in smoke in the first half of this race. You see that sim box 77 coming back by the pace car, and there's the 62 of Troutman also involved. Driver out of Tennessee. A couple other drivers, I believe, may have got involved in that. Tony Strano, Jeffrey Souza may also be involved here on our 3rd caution flag of the night here at the Richmond Raceway. We're going to have to take the look back and see what happened. Let's watch it back. Find out what happened. Best seat in the house is looking down. Oh, it starts there with Mark Jenkins into the 62. Doug Neal went high, hoping the 62 was not going to be there. Yeah, a little contact there from the Jenkins Construction 999 entry, and Travis Minto go around. I'm not sure who actually got into the back of the Gatorade 919. Watch the Gatorade entry, the green card of the outs. Oh, he gets it from Doug Neal, and then Neal goes high, sending Minto to the bottom side. Souza did collect a little piece of that one. So a lot of drivers caught up in this one. Travis Minto, of course, being that driver that is on the bubble here tonight. He came in sitting as one of the last drivers on the outside looking in, and now with that damage here and still well over half this race to go, boy, is it going to be uphill. I mean, we hate saying it's going to be uphill all the time, but race fans, you know exactly what we mean when these drivers have damage. And of course, the field level here of competition on Monday night is bar none, and that's being very on the light end of that, because I can tell you, to come out here and race with these boys, you better take the gloves off and leave them at home, because they're not punching with no rags, no coverings on their knuckles. It's like a street fight out here. Right now, the iRacing pace car dives in. It'll be 34 laps completed when we get the green flag. Green flag back into the air. As everybody goes down into turn number 1 this time, let's see what happens. Looks like everybody's going to be able to make it through 1. Out of turn number 2, everybody's going to scatter, and it looks pretty good, but they're 3 wide. It's going to be Buckley in the middle. He's going to get into the Radical paint entry. They're getting Radical. They're going to wad him up on the front straightaway here. Bunch of them. Oh, granny hips. Oh, that's going to hurt the hips. Oh, look at that. Look at that. He took the tennis balls off the walker. Took the tennis balls off the walker, and boy, that truck's not going to be driving right the rest of the night. He got it from each end of the rear quarter panel there. That is a V spoiler. I can't say we've ever seen that before. That is an interesting one, to say the least. So now, we thought the last one had a lot of drivers involved in that wreck, and I think this one just beat it. Really going to have to take the look and see. See a couple drivers going through the grass, and of course, Buckley just sliding on his lid. There you see they're 3 wide. Buckley tries to hold the lane, and unfortunately those older tires were getting eaten up by the new tires, so it was dead straight time to go. You see Kyle Souza towards the back there. He was turned around also. Right on board here. That's not the angle, producer. See everybody really scatter. One truck pulling away down there with smoke bellowing out of the back of it. That looks like that might be Ryan O'Donnell in the Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. So a lot of trucks involved, and we're waiting for our timing and scoring and all the notes from the truck to really come through here and tell us who was all involved. Looks like Tim Combs got a good piece of that in the Bass Pro Shops entry. Tim in his second full season of competition here with Red Light. Looks like it might be a miss the chase kind of year. So when we come across the start-finish line here, it's going to be Richard Murdoch being scored as our race leader with DJ Anderson, Joe Strano, Max Terrell, Sean Single, Eric Johnson, Mark Jenkins, Rob Jenkins, Chris Hammett, and Rob Higgins as your top 10. Take the look at the left-hand side of your screen, race fans. Remember, we talked about it. We're going to continue to talk about it all night long here, as this is a cut race. A cut race. This is the end of the regular season here tonight. The drivers who are in green, we can tell you, are officially in to race for the championship. They will at least make the first round of the championship playoffs. The drivers in white, they need to win tonight to put themselves in. That's the only way the drivers in white are gonna make it to the chase. The drivers in red, well, they are battling for those final 4 positions left. Of course, there's one driver tonight, James Skelton, who is not here. He would light up in green also here tonight during this race, but unfortunately having to work a little bit extra tonight, so he will not make the race here, but he will still hold his slot as he has competed over 50% of the races this season so far. So he locks in with his wins. As you can tell, the old iRacing pace car must be tired again. The lights go off. Only one driver that is out of this event so far. It looks like that is the 77 of Doug Neal. Joshua Buckley is sitting down on pit row with his Granny Hips number 2 entry. Brandon Feeney just comes back out onto the track, so still 25 drivers on the speedway. Green flag back up. We're racing once again here. And this time, it's the old tires versus the new tires. The 51 of DJ Anderson in the Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry. He is going to come off on the high side of turn number 1. Turn 2, he was to the high side, but couldn't make anything happen there. So he'll tuck in behind Richard Murdoch in the Adventure in Pixels entry. So it'll put Murdoch out front, but for how long? Because here comes DJ. DJ to the inside in turn number 1. Murdoch going to have a chance here if he wants to chop the nose of the 43. No, he's going to go up, and I think he may have just brushed the outside wall out of turn number 2. So there goes Joe Strano now to the inside. Here comes Max Terriel. And if he doesn't watch himself, Sean Single could also bring that number 11, Mechanics Advisor number 11, up here into the battle yet too and pick off another spot. Murdoch just cannot get down right now. He's still stuck to the outside. Here comes the 11. That time, actually, Murdoch going to get a great run off the top side of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. But the inside will definitely prevail this time out of turn number 4. The 42, Max Terriel will have him at the line. Sean Single still sitting there lurking into the background, figuring out if the 42 is going to complete this pass. Now, this time out of turn number 2, Max Terriel is going to be able to utilize the whole track. Oh, look at a little block there. Some blocking going on back here down the back straightaway. The Jenkins Construction 999. That's Mark Jenkins out of Virginia. As Chris Hammett was knocking on the door with a Miracle Grow, number 906. 2 rookies right now going at it. Of course, Chris Hammett, we talked about it. He needs to finish. Have a really good finish here tonight to put himself in. Chris Hammett was 8th, I believe, on our points charts coming in. And with Tim Combs having issues here, as you see the 17 coming back to pit road, one of those championship hopefuls, driver out of Ohio. So his night is going to be pretty much done at this point, as you see DJ Anderson, Joe Strano. Right now, you're front 2, and well, they're the front 2 because they took tires, and Max Terriel had to battle with Richard Murdoch, who's still stuck to the outside, and he just cannot get down. Now might have a chance, as now Murdoch going to go from leading all the way to 6th here on the first 5 laps back to Green Flag Racing. Chris Hammett finds himself that position right now in the Scott's Miracle Grow. And then it puts Mark Jenkins and Rob Jenkins. Look at Rob right now. He's picked up 8 positions now to work himself into that 9th spot. And just behind him, Dustin Gainey in that Renaissance Nutrition. Tonight it's actually the Chick-fil-A machine. We were about to talk about the 84, though, of Rothrock, who's battled back after getting contact with Brandon Minto. He has picked up 10 positions since then and finds himself running in 13th. Murdoch up the track once again. Murdoch does have those older tires. Can he hold on here? What he wanted was another caution flag there to try and get a couple heat cycles into those tires with his competitors, but it did not happen. Little block there. Looks like Rob Jenkins going to block the advances there by the number 15 of Gainey. Rothrock up the speedway. Looks like Souza has that inside line. There you see the right front damage on the Renaissance Nutrition Chevrolet number 84. Oh boy, there it is. A little contact from Dustin Gainey. Gonna get Rob Jenkins up the speedway. Oh, Jenkins into the outside wall. Murdoch gonna try to go down there. They're leaning on each other down into 3. Murdoch tried to drive that Adventure in Pixels 01 down in there, and fortunately for him, it did start to stick. Dustin Gainey now up the track a little bit as see Trevarthen work the inside of the speedway. Nothing has changed up front. It's still DJ Anderson, Joe Strano, and Max Terriel, your top 3 drivers, with Sean Single and Eric Johnson rounding out the top 5. But this battle right here is for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Throw them all under the blanket, as they were rubbing that time once again down in turn number 3. Dustin Gainey trying to hang on. He won back at the Talladega Super Speedway with the 1987 machines out onto the track, and he went 200, and I think it was like 15 miles an hour in the draft that day. Tonight, we're not going to come near those types of speeds here at Richmond. Maybe about 140, maybe 143 down the front straightaway. Under full power with some fresh tires here Souza now going to pick up a spot here on Murdoch. Murdoch, remember, restarted as the race leader here when we went back racing, and he has just fallen like a rock. Murdoch now outside the top 10. There you see the number 40, the checkered flag auto supply of Higgins. He was involved in that big wreck about 15 laps ago. And then behind him, Travis Minto and the number 919. There you see, that was the 3 of Tony Strano, who actually, race fans, remember we posted a picture just the other day of who was getting the package? Well, it was actually that man right there. We had to ship one to Minnesota. I think that was the first shirt that actually got shipped up to Minnesota. He did receive it today. He messaged me today and he goes, hey, Muth, the tracking number is not working. And I said, oh, no problem. Let me check on that for you here. I checked on it, and, well, it was already delivered and it was sitting in his mailbox. I don't know, race fans. I don't know. Maybe he couldn't read the track. I don't know. Looks like, though, Ethan Troutman is going to have to take a tow to pit road. His night just went from bad to worse. As you see, Travis Minto picking up that 16th position as the 84. Christopher Rothrock was just hard into the outside wall out of turn number 2. Murdoch, though, all the battles are right here, right around this 10th position. And you see a lot of drivers have been into the outside wall. Murdoch's been into the outside wall. It looks like Jenkins and Mitchell and Rothrock, they've all been into the outside wall at least once or twice. These trucks do get very tight out of turn number 2 and turn number 4. Here's a battle, though, inside the top 10. This is the number 31 of Michael Trevarthen coming back up through. Beautiful looking Ford F-150 here tonight. The EcoBoost with the orange numbers. As he'll make the pass on Eric Johnson, so that'll move him up as, oh, we talked about getting into the outside wall. As he had taken the Jenkins Construction 999 and scraped the outside wall with it, but there's already damage on it, so we're going to be cutting that one up, and all your race fans can head on over there and talk with the 999 to see if we can get some body panels to put in your man caves after this one. I did just notice that the number 2 of Joshua Buckley has made his way back out onto the track, but I believe that's going to be short-lived. Looks like the left front is not turning on that draft top granny hips entry, so the left front is completely locked up on the number 2 for Joshua Buckley. He'll pull it right back down to pit road to the service of his pit crew. As DJ Anderson will come back around here, he'll complete lap number 61 tonight. Report from the garage area that the Beefy Motorsports, the Canadian driver, the K1 Graphics Liquid Moly entry, the 938 rookie, well, he has blown the motor here tonight. He over-revved it. Harry Hogg told him not to do that, and fortunately he over-revved it, as looks like now Max Terrell has just got around the 43 of Joe Strano. So your top 3 here tonight are locked in. And Sean Single, in the very beaten and banged up Mechanics Advisor number 11, is sitting here in the 4th position. Chris Hammett, what a rebound. And I know we touched on Chris Hammett last week about being one of those drivers that came in this season after competing a couple seasons in the SK Modified division, making his first full year attempt here with the Scrambler series. But right now, he would be one of those drivers that he's teeter-tottering right now on the verge of being locked in. If one of his competitors that were trying to get themselves in would drop out here tonight, as it looks like Tim Combs has already dropped out of this one, but I believe if he gets Ryan O'Donnell, if something would happen to Ryan, which we hope doesn't, we love seeing that turbo paints machine out there, but if something were to happen, he would find himself in to the playoffs. Sean Single had a moment, though, out of turn 2, I'm hearing. Does that allow Chris Hammett to get on by? Trevarthen, though, is still eating up the field. He'll work to the inside here on Mark Jenkins. Both drivers out of that RPM Motorsports stable. So right now, Mark Jenkins, who has actually climbed up 11 positions, even though little scrapes on that truck, he has still moved up 11 spots. Started back into the 18th spot, worked himself into the top 5 at one point, Now when this long run has started to kind of fall back just a little bit, he gave up the 5th position there to Sean Single, and now Michael Trevarthen just worked his way around him, but he does have a very fast, strong truck that fires off here early on in this one. We'll see if they can get a little bit more long run speed built up once we come to pit road, because we're getting closer to the green flag pit cycle. A couple drivers have already come to pit road, like this Bobcat entry. That's Bob Higgins, the driver out of Massachusetts, the checkered flag auto supply number 941. Also competing on Thursday, and this season making his first season here with the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series. Right now, Bob back sitting into the 22nd position. As the race leaders, you see them working down out of turn number 2. That race lead at one point was up to about a 1.5 seconds for DJ Anderson. It has now started to fade a little bit because the Wiley veteran is starting to chip away at that one. It'll be 69 laps completed here. And the gap shrinking once again. That time by 0.2 seconds off that race lead there for DJ Anderson. See if he can hang on to get to the green flag pit cycle. Closing in on the halfway home here tonight, it looks like the number 2 of Joshua Buckley still having some issues. That number 2 back down to pit road once again. They have had to make numerous stops here tonight. Your top 2 so far this year, when you combine the wins for them, it's a 10-race regular season. Will they hold between the top 2 of DJ Anderson and Max Terrill? They hold 4 wins combined. And then when you really want to break it down even farther, Max already has 6 top 5s this season, while DJ Anderson has himself a handful also. That gives them 8. So out of the 10, well, these drivers have been into the top 5 at least 8 times combined. I was going to start to really get into laps led and everything, race fans, but I think we're going to save that statistic for when we make it to the playoffs here just next week. First, we got to get through this one, because next week is going to be an interesting one when we come back here with RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series for the round of 12. We do head to the Nashville Fairgrounds, and boy, we get to go race for another 150 laps at the famous historic Nashville Fairgrounds with the famous 1987 Winston Cup machines. It's the 87 Monte Carlo and the 87 Ford Thunderbird. I don't know about you race fans, but old school NASCAR is my favorite. Of course, the new school, the new generation body style is pretty cool itself, but boy, nothing beats racing back into the 80s, the early 90s, and the early 2000s also put on one heck of a show, just like what these guys do every week. So when we do hop into those 1987 cars next week, I'm really waiting to see what we can do at the fairgrounds. Green flag pit cycle here, as this time by it'll be halfway home in this one. Halfway home for DJ Anderson. He leads at the halfway point, but Max Terrill is literally knock it on his back door. The mechanic advisor's onboard camera here. We're looking back at the 42. Both your race leaders going to stay out here for at least another lap, if not more. Last time they came down pit row, well, that was 50 laps ago. Lap number 25 for both of them. A couple drivers like, well, Michael Trevarthen is down pit road right now. You see him there in the EcoBoost number 31. He's down pit road along with the number 3 of Tony Strano. We'll see as your race leaders once again going to continue to pace the field here tonight. Looks like the crew has actually taken the number 2 of Josh Buckley's car off of pit road and put it behind the wall for the time being. Wheel bearing locked up in that number 2 Ford Mustang. I know where he can get a new one, race fans. That's over at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Or they have them in stock for all their Ford products. Sean Single going to be one of the first drivers out of the race lead group to come to pit road. There you see the mechanics advisor, number 11. Started on the pole here tonight. Got some damage and is falling back. Looks like Mark Jenkins just completing his pit stop. He'll come back out onto the speedway. 4 tires and fuel for the driver out of Virginia. But you knew it was only a matter of time. Max Terrell is your race leader here. DJ Anderson has fallen back about a half a second back, and now he is actually going to come straight to pit road. Loses the race lead and says, well, at this point, I might as well come down. I don't believe we're going to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. So we'll have to see. With him coming to pit road, that'll put, oh boy, pit road penalty for the Jenkins Construction, number 999. Mark Jenkins back to pit road. It was I believe, a commitment line violation coming out of pit road. Jumped up onto the track a little too soon. So he'll have to come down, and that's just going to be devastating. He was running inside the top 10 and then had to come make that green flag pit stop and on his way out of pit road. Oh, boy, you don't want to see that for him, as he's going to have to sit in his box for a little bit. He'll serve the penalty, and he'll come back out, and we'll survey the damage for Mark Jenkins. Well, that turns the race lead over for the time being to the number 4 of Souza. Souza had himself a really good season going, and then had himself a couple rough patch weeks. Started off the season at Michigan with a top 10, another top 10 at Iowa, another top 10 at Darlington, and then an 11th at Kentucky. And right there is where about the wheels really started to fall off, because it was a 32nd at Auto Club, wrapped up in a big wreck there and had to disconnect. And then it was 15th at Talladega, a 12th at Sonoma, which was really good. It was almost a rebound there. And then another 27th place finish at Atlanta. There you see, looks like that was the 42 and the 51, getting around your race leader of Souza. So that'll put him back onto, or put them back onto the lead lap. A couple drivers have yet come to pit road: Kevin O'Brien, Brandon Minto, Ryan O'Donnell, and Travis Minto. Of course, these drivers are all losing valuable time. A lot of times, not just here on iRacing, but you see drivers in NASCAR short pit. By them short pitting, that's them not stretching the fuel all the way, but they're getting fresh tires, and fresh tires means seconds on the speedway. The only unfortunate thing is they may have to pit sooner than a lot of your other race leaders. Battle going on, I believe that was right behind Travis Minto. There you see Ryan O'Donnell. They were 3 wide. There was Bob Higgins involved in that. Brandon Minto was also involved in that. As they made it all work, but they were 3 wide at one point. Being passed a note from the producers over here in the stat truck, and the reason why Jeffrey Souza, along with Minto, O'Donnell, Minto, and O'Brien have yet to come to pit road is that's because everybody else came down on lap number 25 under the caution. Well, 10 laps later, we had another caution flag, and that's when your top 6 or top 5 all came down pit road. So it is just not time for these drivers to bring her down just yet. Their crews are trying to get them to run it out as far as they can, because they could possibly, if they could make it another 12 laps, they would not have to come to pit road unless a caution flag came out the rest of the way here tonight. So they're trying to get as far as they can on this tank of fuel. Ryan O'Donnell, though, in the Turbo Radical Paints entry, he says that's enough. He's coming to pit road. His Ford F-150 is pretty radical here tonight. It's a beautiful-looking paint scheme out of the Turbo Dork Radical Paint stables. Unfortunately, it is quite scraped up as he'll come to a stop. I'm sure it'll be 4 tires and fuel as your race leader of Souza carries on onto the speedway. Travis Minto coming to pit road. I'm not sure if he got down to pit road speed. Minto maybe just sped onto pit road. We'll wait to see what our iRacing officials say here tonight on lap 91 when Travis Minto comes to pit road. Race leader still out there. That'll leave 2. Souza and Brandon Minto have yet to come to pit road. There you see the 5 of Brandon Minto. Being told that Travis Minto did speed onto pit road. He will be held in his pit box. And, man, Travis's night went from bad to now worse to, boy, it's not good. Brandon Minto coming to pit road that time by there. Everybody else trying to See where they're going to shake through. Here comes Jeffrey Souza. They said they cannot make another 10 laps here tonight, so they will pit at this point, give up the race lead, and see where they shake out. Your race leader that will take over will be the number 42 of Max Terrell. He's got DJ Anderson still there. This will be your new race leaders, or at least retaining the race lead, will be the 42 of Max Terrell. DJ Anderson trying to get around the number 3 of Tony Strano right now. As Travis Minto, after spending, it looks like that was a 45-second hold on pit road, he will get back out onto the track. So it is Max Terrell, DJ Anderson back out front, and then it's this driver, Michael Trevarthen. Currently sitting third. If the race were to finish right now, he would find himself in. The driver out of Florida would love to see himself go playoff racing. Caution lights coming on onto the speedway. The Gatorade 919 is turned around on the back straightaway, and that will bring out our 5th caution flag of the evening after everybody just came to pit road. So they all came to pit road, and now the caution going to come out for the 5th time here on lap number 95. Let's take the look back here at Travis Minto. Him in turn 2 are not very happy here tonight. Self-yeeted into the inside wall. There you see Bob Higgins. He was just coming off of pit road with the Bobcat entry. And, of course, the caution lights coming on. The mechanics advisor onboard camera here. Well, it looks like his night's going to be over, as he has taken that Gatorade entry to pit road instantly. He had to take the tow. A lot of your race leaders, though, coming to pit road. Here you see Sean Singles down. He has the number 1 pit stall. We'll see if he can win the battle off pit road. DJ Anderson's down and away. It'll be the 42. Max Terrell, then DJ Anderson, the 31 of Michael Trevarthen, Joe Strano, Chris Hammett, Richard Murdoch, and then Sean Single coming out at 9th. Jeffrey Souza, though, it looks like, was he coming to pit road at the time of caution? I believe he was, and then now he'll come to pit road. So as we work our 5th caution flag of the night, though, race fans, we got to take a step away here. We got to pay a couple of the bills here at Richmond, and we'll be back for more of the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. Here tonight for the Mechanics Advisor 112.
When you're face-to-face with your customers, you can reach out to them, connect with them, and remind them of future maintenance they may need with their vehicle. But when they leave your shop, how can you be sure that all of them will return? Enter the Mechanic Advisor CRM software and telematics suite, a robust customer retention tool that monitors your customers' vehicles so you can connect with them when they truly need it. Start by reaching out to new customers with our advertising service. In your area, Mechanic Advisor ranks for over 150 auto repair keywords on search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo, bringing new customers directly to your door. Next, Mechanic Advisor helps you retain those customers through our proprietary OBD2 telematics device. Once you plug the dongle into your customer's vehicle, in real time, you'll be able to see any OBD engine codes that fire, as well as when they're due for scheduled maintenance such as oil changes, tire checks, and more. Finally, if any engine codes do go off, you'll be immediately notified. You can then reach out to them right from the software via text message or email, letting them know that they should come in. There's no wasted outreach on your part and no unnecessary notifications for them. It's truly a win-win. The Mechanic Advisor CRM software. You're not just listening to your customers, you're listening directly to their vehicles.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Richmond Raceway. As you can see, cars being waved around the iRacing.com pace car. They're going to get back onto the lead lap, or at least take a wave around to get a lap back here. And we're getting ready to go back racing. It'll be 99 laps completed with a 50-lap shootout left to go here tonight. It'll be Max Terrell, it'll be DJ Anderson, Michael Trevarthen, Joe Strano, Chris Hammett, Richard Murdoch, Sean Single, Eric Johnson, Zach Mitchell, and Christopher Rothrock, your top 10 positions here on this restart. Green flag is up, and we're racing here again on lap 100. Great start there by Max Terrell. He'll lead him down off of turn number 2, but here comes the outsider. There's the 31, Michael Trevarthen, now trying to throw his hat into the mix. We've seen him coming through the field. He's had a strong truck all night. He'll slide it off of turn number 4. Michael Trevarthen slides the EcoBoost Ford F1. Those turbos must have kicked in right at the right time, race fans. Turbo kicked, and he slid her sideways. Oh, sideways once again down the back straightaway. That's the number 01, Richard Murdoch. He's able to gather up that 01 Adventure in Pixels entry. There's the number 11 of Sean Single. There's the 33 Dirty Mo Radio Chevrolet of Eric Johnson. He was just up into the outside wall that time, scraping it. You can tell the number 11's nose is absolutely pushed in. The rear end is also pushed in on that Mechanics Advisor number 11 tonight. There you see behind him, that's Zach Mitchell. Mitchell doesn't have to worry about going up there and getting really around. He would love to get around Sean Single right now. Oh, contact, turn 4. A couple of them going around. Oh, Rothrock into Jenkins there at the end, and Jenkins now comes to a stop. Ryan O'Donnell, his truck up in smoke. Smoke bellowing out a lot of these trucks here to bring out the 6th caution flag of the evening. And well, that'll bring us to a little bit of a halt in the racing action. There you see pit road getting pretty busy with race trucks down there. Let's take the look back here. Oh, Rob Jenkins up the track, makes slight contact with the 84 of Rothrock. There you see Ryan O'Donnell get popped right there, and then Rothrock just trying to get off the speedway. Unfortunately, Mark Jenkins comes in, and boy, Mark Jenkins is going to make heavy contact. Oh, you could see it coming right for the Jenkins Construction 999, but it was too late. Too late to go anywhere as that Rothrock entry just came barreling down the track. Right on board with Rothrock. Oh, Rothrock was still trying to gather it up. He was turned to the right, and then that truck just went left as Ryan O'Donnell was right there on the back end. Then he had to take the tow to pit road. So I'm going to scan over these notes here as we pace for the 6th time here tonight. Tim Combs has not returned to the racing surface. He came into the night as one of those drivers that needed a good finish to find himself in. Looks like Tim Combs will be eliminated here tonight. He will not move on to the round of 12 in the championship. Travis Minto right now. He is back out onto the racetrack. There you see his Gatorade 919 entry. Right now, he needs to stay on the speedway to continue to turn laps. He is 4 points out of advancing at this point in the race. He needs to stay on track. That's because Ryan O'Donnell's Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry, there you see it. The driver out of Canton, Michigan. Well, his truck just got a little radical and blew the motor. So right now, he's going to have to sit on pit road. They don't have any, what we would call backup cars or fast repairs here tonight. So he's going to have to wait for his crew to fix that truck up, and it should be about, I would say about 45 minutes. So it's going to be a stretch for them to really get that new Ford motor in there. So right now, 3 of the drivers that were right there on the bubble are going to find themselves out of this race for the time being. 2 drivers, though, that needed to have a good night. They already find themselves up inside the top 5. That's Michael Trevarthen and Chris Hammett. Right now, if this race were to end, those drivers would find themselves in. We, of course, have to wait to the end of this one because the fat lady, she's not singing yet. The pay window's not open. No points have been officially awarded here tonight. The only drivers that have points currently are the 11 of Sean Single. He's picked up a lap lead. The 4 of Jeffrey Souza. He's picked up a lap lead. DJ Anderson has picked up a lap lead. And I believe it was Richard Murdoch who also picked up a lap lead. Those are the only drivers right now that have any kind of points coming out of this race here at Richmond. As we're getting ready, geared up to go racing once again. When we do, it'll be Max Terriel, Michael Trevarthen, DJ Anderson with Joe Strano, Chris Hammett, Richard Murdoch, Sean Single, Eric Johnson, Rob Higgins, and Zach Mitchell. Your top 10 iRacing pace car in. Let's give it another whirl here after our 6th caution flag of the evening. They come out of turn 4. They got to wait for the green flag. Once the green flag is up, there it is. We go back racing. Back on the hammer. Great start, overhead, looking down at our race leaders, down into turn number 1. Trevarthen really sailed it off onto the outside there, trying to make something happen, was not able to do it. Now DJ Anderson gonna try to pounce, not gonna work. Murdoch still stuck to the outside. Here comes Eric Johnson. He's gonna try and get there. He's not gonna. Richard gonna hang on and keep the momentum wound up out of turn number 4, and he'll lead that charge back into turn 1. Finds the inside advantage back there, P number 6. That'll leave Sean Single still stuck to the outside. And look at the 4 of Souza trying to slice and dice his way. He just got around Rob Jenkins. Now he's trying to get around the other Rob. That's Rob Higgins right there. 3 wide in front of them. Sean Single to the outside. That's the 33 of Johnson in the middle. And that was Zach Mitchell down to the bottom side. And it's going to be Eric Johnson prevailing, and maybe Sean Single can hold on here and get around that 24. He will keep the momentum up and go back into position number 8 here. Everybody following the black number 42 down the back straightaway here. Chris Hammett thought he was going to peek out of line for just a moment. Every time I see that 906 by Chris Hammett, I really want to think of good old cousin Carl. Carl Edwards, of course, driving that Scott's Miracle Grow truck back in the old days of the Truck Series, the Craftsman Truck Series at the time. A couple of them having to really swing her out there. I don't know if they were linked together, that Chevrolet and that 4, but the Victory Junction number 3 of Tony Strano and the Checker Flag Auto Supply of Rob Higgins were one linked together snake chain back there out of turn number 2. So they will battle side by side. This is just outside the top 10. But DJ Anderson just worked his way around the 31 of Michael Trevarthen. Did Trevarthen run the good off the tires here too soon? We saw DJ Anderson in that first portion of this race lead a lot of laps, and then all of a sudden, Max Terriel threw the old fishing bobber out there and pulled him back in real quick. Looks like Rob Higgins, though, losing another spot there. Tony Strano got around him, and now Jason Wells also gets around. Wells, though, has himself, after last week's second place finish, or podium finish again, sitting, it was a 3rd overall. It was actually 6th on our championship standings, but with his points total coming into the night, he was one of those drivers that we could safely say was going to make themselves into the championship chase. A slew of drivers on pit road, though. Remember how we said Travis Minto just had to stay out here and pick up spots? Well, ever since we went back green flag racing, Travis Minto, he's just been back here limping the 919 around. He has currently picked up, by my calculation here real quick, without actually fact-checking it, I believe it's 5 positions since we went back racing that he has picked up here. And it's actually 5 positions. He picked up Dustin Gainey, Mark Jenkins, Rothrock, O'Donnell, and that put him back into the 18th position. So Minto just has to keep himself out on track at this point. It's still Max Terriot. If he can lead another 7 laps, to give him the most laps led here tonight. Every time Max gets out front, everybody has to hold their breath at that point and hope that something happens. And it is not very often that the driver out of Canada kind of slips up. You really have to go up there and take it from him. If you want to beat him, you have to drive around him. He's not going to rough you up. You never see Max Terriot really lay the old chrome horn or use the 3-tap Teddy rule or drive it well off over his head into the corner. You never see that happen. One of the wiliest veterans, he will just sit behind you with that black number 42, and he will make you make a mistake without him even touching you. It's all a mind game that he likes to play. Right now, DJ Anderson trying to go to school following that number 42. Michael Trevarthen's been able to hold strong right there on the back of that Mountain Dew Baja Blast, number 51. But Joe Strano, he's been running inside the top 5 all night long. And, well, he hasn't done anything wrong. That Green Tree Forest Supply, number 43, looks really clean, except for the back spoiler. That spoiler got bent up when he got run into, slowing down for one of the caution flags. Right now, brother Tony back here battling as Wells is going to get around him. That'll pick up another spot for Wells. Souza also looking to pick another position off here. He has moved up already a handful of spots, 12 to be exact. That'll move him around Sean Single. And for a moment, I believe it was, oh, nope, just the timing and scoring glitching around here on us as DJ Anderson has a little, what my good friend Al Smith would like to say, electrical issues here tonight connecting to the iRacing server. But, man, now it looks like Sean Single's even in more trouble. Here comes Zach Mitchell to the inside. Zach Mitchell looking to pick up a spot. His DuPont Chevrolet is very tore up. Along with, well, Sean Singles is too. It looks like the 84 Christopher Rothrock has thrown in the towel here tonight. They have officially withdrawn from the competition. Though the Renaissance Nutrition driver out of Pennsylvania will get a 20th place finish. Mark Jenkins in the Jenkins Construction. 999 currently is still here at the track, but they are behind the wall working very diligently to try and get that truck back up and running. Joe Strano stepped on it that time, and boy, he's going to go up the track. Chris Hammett to the inside. Hammett will complete that pass just like that lickety-split. With 25 laps to go, Chris Hammett finds himself running 4th. And you talk about positions gained. And yeah, Souza's picked up 12 here tonight, but man, this Miracle Grow, Scott Ford, has picked up 18 spots and is now running 4th. And he is doing exactly what we talked about he needed to do here tonight, and that was have a good, strong finish. Now, we didn't know he was going to have a top 5 contending truck here tonight. You know, a top 10 would have done, but right now, the more positions you can pick off, the more points you're going to get, and that's exactly what you want to do. With just 23 laps to go, but your front 3 right there work down the back straightaway with 23 laps to go, a 3-car breakaway, 3-truck breakaway, about a second and a half over Chris Hammett right now. Laps are clicking off fast here at Richmond, still down into the 23-second bracket. Take a look at the times here when they come back across the start-finish line. Looks like a 23.9 last time for the race leader. That was the fastest on the speedway. We'll check it once again, see if anybody just kind of stepped out of line that last time by and kind of misjudged it at the line this time. Last time, a little bit quicker for Max Terriot. 1/1000th of a second quicker. And he is the quickest truck. Second quickest truck was Michael Trevarthen with DJ Anderson as your 3rd fastest truck on the track. So your top 3 are your fastest 3 here tonight. 20 to go this time by. Trevarthen all over the back bumper of DJ Anderson's. Trying to page back through here for the Scrambler series to see if Michael Trevarthen has actually ever picked up a win here with Red Light Racing if I remember right, he has had about 7 podium positions here with Red Light Racing. But no P1 finishes. All the way back into 2019 when he did join the Red Light Racing ranks, but has not been able to pick up a win just yet. He has one of the fastest trucks here tonight. Will he be able to get it done? Will he be able to go up there and battle with the 42 of Max Tarrant? He first has to get around, well, DJ Anderson, and we know that's not going to be a very easy one to accomplish here tonight. 17 to go. Everybody else has really started the single file out and spread out. There you see the 4 of Souza still sitting back in 8. Rob Jenkins, well, went for a little ride into the infield at one part here tonight, and he's still up here battling. Top 15 currently working for this Rob Jenkins entry, the driver out of Virginia. He's picked up 6 spots, running in 11th in that AMP National Guard, number 989. He comes in as a rookie also this season. Seen him a handful of times on the SK Modified side of things, and now to see him here. One driver was out of shape there. I believe that was the 33 of Eric Johnson, currently running in the 8th spot. Souza does have the fresher tires out of everybody inside the top 10 right now. You see him just ahead. Looks like he came down on lap 104 along with Jenkins and Wells. Wells also came down as Sean Single going to go up. He's going to have to visit the mechanic advisors after this one and really see if they can get this Ford F-150 straightened out after this one. It's not going to be a pretty sight. We might have to auction that one off and see if we can get any kind of, well, money to reskin that truck next week. We're only going to see the Gander Outdoor trucks one more time this year with Red Light Racing, and that's going to be on March the 29th when we go to the Kansas Speedway for 90 exhilarating laps at the Kansas Speedway. That 1.5-mile track will play to the host of the first race of round number 8. We only see the 1987 Winston Cup machines also one more time, as Trevarthen did get around DJ Anderson. He kind of slipped up there, and now Michael Trevarthen on the hunt. He is hungry like a wolf here. Right on board with our mechanic advisor over the shoulder camera. Riding a really fine line down there to the inside of the speedway as they come back across. Double ones in the air, 11 to go. 11 to go, and Michael Trevarthen is there. He is closing in. Gets a better run through turns 1 and 2 than Max Terrialt does. And last time by, he was the fastest truck on the speedway. It was Trevarthen, then it was Anderson, then Terrialt, your fast top 3. This time by, let's check it again. We got to keep an eye on it. This time it's going to switch. It's going to be Terrialt, Anderson, Trevarthen. Your top 3 just kind of switched them around there. Ten laps to go, and we still continue to watch this battle. Don't forget Chris Hammett's right here. He was actually last time by tied with your race leader for the quickest time on the speedway. You ever hear the story about the little train that could? Well, Richard Murdoch right now, it could be that kind of storyline tagline here tonight. He's been into the outside wall. He's been stuck to the outside. He's been freight train going straight backwards like it's, a rock sinking in water. And he had stopped the bleeding. He put his foot in the hole and put that foot right down to the accelerator here tonight and driven himself back to running P number 5 with under 10 laps to go. Joe Strano has been doing good all night long. He's had a top 5 truck all night. Has fallen. This is the first time all night, other than the green flag pit stops, that Joe Strano has been outside the top 5. He's been 3rd, he's been 4th, and he went straight back to running in this 5th position. Or he's running 6th now from 5th. Just needs to hang on and have himself a solid night. I'm being told that Michael Trevarthen will officially, at this point, get himself locked in with 6 laps to go. Chris Hammett also going to now advance to the playoffs. They can no longer lose enough positions to drop themselves in the points championship standings, so they just need to finish this one off where they are at with 5 laps to go, as it's the high 5 at the flag stand. 5 more laps around this short track here in Richmond. That time by, well, DJ Anderson was the fastest truck on the speedway. See Trevarthen trying to use all of the track that's left. Murdoch going to slide it out of turn number 2. Hangs on to it. Hangs on to it, but he's going to lose some ground there, so looks like his night might be sitting right there unless something happens with Hammett out in front of him. Max already has 3 wins on the season. He's tied with James Skelton. Of course, Skelton not being here tonight, as there's a battle for position with 4 to go. There'll be 3 to go at the line. Joe Strano in the 43 trying to hold off the 4 of Souza. Don't think it's going to happen, though, because down into 1, Souza has the inside preferred line, and you can see Joe Strano just lifted it. He went to the outside. He knew what was going to happen there. He knows he just has to bring his 43 back around here. Popsicle sticks this time. 2 to go. At this point, the knees are shaking. Max Terrell has led the most laps here tonight at Richmond. He lights up in green, so we already knew where he was going to be headed, and that was straight to the playoffs. The white flag is up. 1 lap to go, presented by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Final time around the speedway. Max Terrell at this point could coast as he's going to work to the inside here on Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien's still on the lead lap here tonight. He's going to go a lap down on the final lap of the race. But picking up win number 4 of the season, Max Terrell will go to victory lane, dancing into the playoffs. Michael Trevarthen, he will change from red to green here. He locks himself into the playoffs. DJ Anderson finishes 3rd. Chris Hammett comes home 4th after picking up 18 positions. The biggest mover of the race, Chris Hammett, will lock himself in to go race for a championship. Richard Murdoch rallies back for 5th. Joe Strano holds on for 6th. Souza slides back to 7th, picking up 13 spots. It'll be Eric Johnson, Zach Mitchell, and Sean Single rounding out our field here tonight in the Mechanics Advisor 112. There's your race winner. He's going to go down here, down to the end of the front straightaway. He'll turn it around, and then he'll start to do some celebrating here tonight for you race fans. And there it is. Wait no longer. There's your winner. So as Max wins, Eric Johnson going to celebrate for the fans, too, that are all tuning in out there. Race fans, we got to thank you all for tuning in so far here tonight, but we are not done. Of course, the white flag has already flown. The checkered flag is up. The unofficial results are on the left-hand side of the screen. But when we come back from this break here, we're going to get to talk with a couple of your post-race drivers brought to us tonight by Renaissance Nutrition. Don't go anywhere. Hear what your top 3 have to say after a great 150 laps.
Mechanic Advisor's texting platform allows us to follow up and check in with your customers after their ticket is closed out in the shop management system. And if they haven't been in the shop, we're checking in with them throughout the year. We break our messaging down into 2 different messages. One is for new customers. The second is for your repeat customers. So 2 days after a ticket is closed out in your shop management system, new customers are going to receive a text that looks like this. And repeat customers will receive a text that looks like this. Then 5 days after we send them that text, we're sending over a review request via text and email, making it very easy for your customers to go here, click on Great Job, and it brings them right to your Google page where they can go in and leave a 5-star review, which will get posted directly to Google.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Richmond Raceway. 150 laps completed here tonight in the Mechanics Advisor 112 as we get geared up and ready to go to our post-race show presented by Renaissance Nutrition. The race is in the books, and of course the points are starting to get tallied up here. Everybody working diligently behind the scenes to figure out who is going to get in, who is going home, and who's just going to be all around disappointed here this season. Drivers that we know already locked in: James Skelton, Max Terriol, DJ Anderson, Dustin Gainey, all were locked in coming into this race. They didn't have to worry about winning or how many points they were going to have at the end of this one. They knew they were in. But some drivers like Trevarthen, Hammett, Minto, O'Donnell, and Combs came in there battling for those final few positions. And of course, we will find out here in a couple of moments who has made it in and who will go home a little bit disappointed here tonight. Let's head down trackside, though, to talk to our podium finishers here tonight in our Renaissance Nutrition post-race show. Let's kick things off, though, with the driver who is going to pick up his 4th win of the season. Max, you do it again, and you do it here at a track that, well, you know so very well. You were able to win here in the SK Modified Series a couple seasons back, and you win here tonight. Tell us about battling at the end of this one, though. Trevarthen was coming. DJ Anderson was right there.
Yeah, that last caution came in with about 55 to go, just enough to save some fuel and make it to the end. I started saving with about 20 to go, and my goal was to try to stay in front as much as possible. And with about 5 to go, I knew I had enough, so I went all out. And I think DJ started saving a little bit earlier and dropped to 3rd, so I had a bit of a cushion there. And it all worked out fine for me. A good run on Michael. He was really close to it. If he would have passed me with about 10 to go, maybe he would have had enough to win. So good on him for a 2nd place finish.
Well, they were breathing down your neck here tonight, that is for sure. How did the test session go last night for you guys? Did you find anything that you were able to tweak on or learn or find the right spot to run this track?
I learned a lot about rotating the car in the middle of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I needed to be patient. I used a lot of right front tire in practice. So in the race, I backed off the corners. It helped a lot. And the conditions were close to the same as we had last night. So off the bat, I knew how to run, how to take care of my tires on the long run. And it paid off with 2 long runs where I was able to get the lead at the right moment.
Well, you were able to figure it out here tonight, and you go victory dancing once again with picking up your 4th win as James Skelton is now trailing you in that win category. 5 races to go to find out if you can win a championship. Can you make it through the round of 12 and the round of 8 to the championship at Texas?
For the first round, it's about staying clean and having 2 solid finishes. And as the deeper you go in the playoffs, then that's when drivers need to pile up some wins or top 3, top 5 consistently. So we'll start off with the next 2 weeks and get out from there with clean cars and move on from there.
Well, you get it done here tonight, Max, who makes it all possible behind the scenes.
Yep, my girlfriend, my friend Max at Max and Knitting, and my dad, they're all watching the Turn 3 Network broadcasts. Tonight, Mechanic Advisor coming on board for the sponsor of this race, Josh, James, and Richard for running this RB Custom Rig Scrambler series. And congrats to all the guys making it into the playoff. I know it'll be a close points difference between 12th and 13th, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, there you hear it from Max Tarrant. He doesn't have to worry any longer. He knew coming into the night he had enough wins in the bank as he picks up win number 4 to now give him that crown of seed number 1 going in to the first round of the playoffs. Moving right along here, finishing second tonight is going to be the driver of the number 31, Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen, you came into the night, and I'm looking here at the points. You were right there on the bubble. I can officially tell you, congratulations, you will go playoff racing here this season. A strong finish. How does it feel to know now finishing second tonight really paid off as you're in?
Yeah, I had to put a lot of work in the last 2 or 3 weeks just to make sure I've solidified some good finishes, and we were able to put one together last week and there again this week. Hats off to Max for the win, DJ for running me clean there. Great group of drivers up front. Tried to save a little bit of tire there in the first run and felt like I stuck myself in the hornet's nest in the back there, and knew I had to put some fresh tires and get back to the front and get out of the fray, and it tended to work out. So, hell of a race.
It was one heck of a race here tonight for you. This truck was fast, and where did it find the speed? This Ford seemed like it had something for those Chevrolets here tonight.
Yeah, kind of like Max was hitting on. I picked up where it was, comfortable rotating the center. Truck obviously liked the bottom and hugging that line, and was able to put it together there. Max was super quick. I'd already wore the tires off of it by the time I got around DJ. I thought I was catching him there, but like Max said, he was just saving a little bit, because once he stuck with the loud pedal, he was gone.
Well, you finished strong here tonight. It looks like going into the championship playoffs, you will be seeded as the 10 seed. It's a pretty low seed and not a lot of races to really gain points. Strategy going to Nashville Fairgrounds next week. What is on the docket?
Keeping the fenders clean, trying to stay out of trouble. Just try to run a top 5, top 3, top 5, and just click away. Try to make it to the next round.
Well, you're going to advance into the playoffs here, but who made it all possible all season long to get you ready to go playoff racing?
I definitely want to give a hats off to Josh Buckley and the admins with Red Light. They put on a hell of a league here, policing the idiocracy. I love racing with these guys. Hell of a group of guys that we race with here. I want to give a shout out to you, Roger, in the booth. I enjoy watching the T3RN broadcast, and definitely want to give a shout out to RPM Motorsports with Mark and Rob Jenkins. We do put in some laps, and my wife and 3 boys. I want to say what's up.
Well, of course, the boys out there tuning in, they're going to be glad to see Pops going racing for a championship here. He may be a little bit down on the pecking order, but nonetheless, anything can happen when we go playoff racing. One driver left here to round out the podium, and boy, DJ, another strong run for this Mountain Dew Baja Blast number 51. It just seems like at the end of the runs here, this 51 really started to nosedive. Did you run the tires off it too soon?
Yeah, I knew coming in tonight that I'd be good on the short run, and I knew Max was going to be fast after the practice race on the long runs, like he usually is every race. So I thought I could put the pressure on him there and try to get him to use up his stuff a little more than he wanted to, and then hopefully force him into a mistake. But obviously that didn't work out for me. And then of course trying to push him, Michael, was able to pass me, so I was kind of hoping to race, and then maybe I could take advantage of it. But in the end, Max is. He's the driver to beat this season. He's definitely the favorite, and he's going to be the one to beat going in the playoffs. It was so desperate trying to beat him tonight that at lap 35, I made a 3 wide on the restart to try to get away from him. The speed difference on new tires and old tires was just so different that I knew if I could get out in front and put some separation, maybe I could get away from him. And I did drive away from him, but in the end, he still caught me because he's too fast on the long run.
He is one extremely fast cat, that is for sure. But all season long, you've had a fast truck. You won back at Michigan, then a 9th at Iowa. The wheels kind of fell off in the middle of the season. It seemed like this truck was either a top 5 truck or it wound up on the hooks here. Are we going to see that top 5 speed come out here for the playoffs, or are we going to find it on the hook again?
This is definitely a good momentum builder coming into the playoffs. It was fastest in practice, kind of messed up my qualifying there, wasn't able to get the pole, was fast throughout the whole race. And if I can keep this up, there's going to be, at some point, Max is hopefully going to make a mistake, and maybe I can capitalize on it. But I feel confident going into the playoffs. With my teammates. I feel like we might be able to put a run together here and maybe try to get a championship for Need for Speed this season.
Well, a good run for you here and the Need for Speed group. Who makes it all possible back at the shop?
Teammates. We work hard on these. Coming out here trying to race every weekend, and I love racing with these guys at Red White. Been with them for a long time, and everybody here at this league is clean, respectful, and we have a lot of fun racing each other. And it's nice to see a lot of green flag laps, here at Richmond, even though we had a few cautions in between. But I love racing with these guys, and I love going back and watching these broadcasts that you do for us, and I appreciate you coming out and doing this for us every week.
Well, there you hear it from the driver who will wind up going to the championship playoffs. He will be seated as a 3rd seed behind Max Terriel, James Skelton. Then it's going to be DJ Anderson. There's your podium finishers here tonight, 1 through 3. Max Terriel, Michael Trevarth, and DJ Anderson finish on the podium spots here. What a great race it was, though. Max Terriel obviously dominating this one. And for all you race fans that are still tuned in with us, I know exactly what you are waiting for here tonight. You are waiting for us to tell you who the drivers that are going to the playoffs. Well, those drivers will be Max Terriel, who locks himself in with 4 wins. James Skelton, 3 wins. He's number 2. DJ Anderson picked up a win back in the season opener. He will be seed number 3. Seed 4 will be Dustin Gainey, sitting there with a win. And then it'll be the drivers who had to point their way into the postseason. And that's going to be Jason Wells. He will race for a championship. Richard Murdoch will also officially clinch himself into the playoffs. He will race for a championship. Joe Strano, he will race along with Zach Mitchell. And now, one of the rookies, Chris Hammett, will race for a championship. The only rookie this season to lock himself in to go playoff dancing. Michael Trevarthen, we talked to him. We told him that he is in, and he is excited to go racing. Eric Johnson will barely make it in, and the reason he is going to make it in by just 3 points to the good, that's with Travis Minto, Ryan O'Donnell, Tim Combs having issues here tonight. And the final driver to make it in here, race fans, this season to go playoff dancing. The driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, driving the mechanic advisor number 11, Sean Single, picks up just enough points by 2 points over Travis Minto to officially lock himself in. So he actually went from being out with virtually no chance here to make the playoffs, and now Sean Single, by the skin of his teeth, will go racing for a championship. Congratulations to all the drivers here tonight that competed and all the drivers that will move forward to the round of 12. The round of 12 will start just next week, March 15th, for 150 laps at the famous Nashville Fairgrounds, with the 1987 Winston Cup machines under the lights for the first time ever with Red Light Racing. But boy, what a race it has been here tonight for the Mechanic Advisor 112. We got to thank the Mechanic Advisor for coming on board here. They're going to have to really take the Mechanic Advisor number 11 of Singles truck back to the shop and plug it in and see what kind of codes that one's throwing here tonight. But we got to thank them for everything they do here with the RB Custom Rigs. And of course, we got to thank Rick Bell for supporting the racing series here with Red Light Racing. If you need a computer that's built from mild to wild, make sure you hit up Rick Bell over there at RB Custom Rigs. And, of course, everybody from Red Light Racing, they thank all of you race fans for tuning in here tonight. The band is warming up. That means we're just about done here from Richmond. We will catch you next Monday night at the Nashville Fairgrounds. But for everybody at Red Light Racing, RB Custom Rigs, the Mechanic Advisors, I'm Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast here from the Richmond Raceway, and we can't wait to see you at the fairgrounds.